From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your evening update.
American Door Company has been family-owned and operated for over 29 years, supplying Northern California with quality garage doors, garage door openers, and installed with the best service you'd expect from a locally owned company. We serve all of Northern California from Willows all the way up to the Oregon state line. Give us a call today.
All right, so usually in the morning and the evening forecast, I like to kind of give you a quick forecast to kind of get you through the day, to kind of get you the next 24 hours. But there are a lot of different elements to really kind of get through, and it's important for you to kind of get these elements. We're talking about rain, we're talking about the chance for thunderstorms, we're still talking about some gusty winds out there, snow, and of course that's going to be all something that's going to impact each and every single one of you, just depending on where you are. So let's get right to it. But before we do, I want to let you know, if you don't know about it, there's a free Weather NorCal app, and it's really the best source for you because it's everything that you need here for Northern California, and it's super hyper local. You've got the neighborhood forecast, you can watch all the videos from the app, all the special programming. So just download it for free. Search for Weather NorCal in your app store, and you have all access to everything. Let's get you right to it. There's a chance for showers and thunderstorms for your Thursday, with off and on showers through the weekend, at least the first half of the weekend. Sunday, still a bit of a coin toss as to whether or not we'll see any kind of rain, which we'll get into that here in a second. Snow levels between 4,000 and 5,000 feet on average, although they will get lower than that, especially tonight and even into Thursday night as well. Drier and warmer, though, as we go into early next week. Here's your neighborhood at a glance real quickly for tomorrow. We continue the chance for thunderstorms for the Valley, Trinity County, the North Coast, Siskiyou County, maybe a bit of a snow mix in there. Modoc and the Eastern Mountains also seeing some snow flurries. And again, those snow levels are dropping. They could get as low as 3,000 feet, but on average between 3,000 and 4,000 feet for those snow levels. Now, the chances for thunderstorms are mainly going to be in the Valley, some of the surrounding foothills, and not to mention the North Coast. That's not to say we won't see any thunderstorms, say, in Trinity County, but the chances are going to be a bit slimmer in those areas. Let's take a look at Futurecast. We're going to walk you through the timing. Now, tonight, most of the rain and snow will be off to the east. We're behind the cold front. The cold front has pretty much moved out at this point by 10 o'clock tonight. But now we're starting to see the cold and unstable air begin to move in. But look at this. We're actually seeing a little bit of clearing here tonight for parts of the valley. But then that cold and unstable air just continues to filter in. This will bring us scattered showers and even some snow flurries, but you'll notice there's really nothing terribly intense. I don't expect any thunderstorms at this point for Thursday. It's in the afternoon that we'll see the best chances tomorrow. So as we go into the noon hour, we're beginning to see some of that daytime heating. That's when we start to destabilize the atmosphere because we have the colder air aloft, and we start to see those thunderstorms pop up. There you can see them really especially developing in Del Norte and Humboldt counties. We're starting to see some of those showers and maybe even a few thunderstorms popping up by around the noon hour in the valley. But I think through the afternoon will be the best chances, you can see right here. Then, of course, we're seeing those snow flurries in the higher elevations. You need to continue to check those chain requirements if you plan on traveling in the mountains here throughout the day on Thursday. Snow levels between 3,000 and 4,000 feet. Now let's take you to about 6 p.m. on Thursday. We're beginning to lose some of that energy in the valley, but there still could be some of those showers and thunderstorms developing even into the evening hours. So basically through the afternoon into the evening for the valley, chance for thunderstorms, and that could even be the case here for parts of the North Coast as well. We're still seeing some of that snow, and there could be some heavier downbursts of snow down to about 3,500 and 4,000 feet. All right, so we take a look at Futurecast going into your Friday. Now we're beginning to see the area of low pressure responsible for kind of transporting some of this energy in, kind of moving down to our south. So we still have a few snow flurries out there, still fairly low, maybe down closer to about 3,000 feet by 6 a.m. And we're seeing some of that heavier rainfall just along the coast here. Now, as we see the area of low pressure shift to the south, the rotation around that low will help to transport that energy northward from the south. All right, so you can see here as we go through the day on Friday, you see how it's kind of rotating around that area of low pressure, and it's going to bring us more showers. Heavier rainfall possibly along the coast. Now, could we see an embedded thunderstorm in there? It's not out of the question, but we're not seeing as much of that instability out there, but we'll certainly have to be on the lookout that is, for those thunderstorms. And there, of course, you can see by Friday night, 11 p.m., we're still seeing that stream of moisture coming in, could bring us a decent amount of rainfall going into Friday night before that storm system continues to shift to the south, and of course, eventually seeing drier conditions. But this will continue. This feed of moisture coming in from the south will continue even into your Saturday. So we look at the forecast rainfall totals through Friday night, and again, you can see some fairly impressive amounts. I'm expecting about a half an inch to even close to an inch, I think, in some cases for parts of the valley, and I think we'll see over an inch out along the coast, and even parts of Siskiyou County seeing a decent amount as well. Now, forecast snow totals, kind of inputting some numbers here. We could see if we can get the snow levels low enough and for a long enough period of time, Mount Shasta City, I think you could possibly pick up, a couple of inches of snow. Maybe around Bernie and Shingletown, you might get a dusting of snow as well. Maybe a little bit more than that for Fall River Mills and not to mention Chester. But otherwise, I don't expect to see a lot of snow for Alturas, even though it will be in the form of snow. I just don't expect to see a lot. Out towards Susanville, probably less than an inch. Quincy, maybe Portola, picking up about 2 to 4 inches. And of course, less than an inch out towards the Etna area as well. How will this impact your travel? Well, for tomorrow, you can see that limited. So even though we do expect to see snow levels down to about 3,000 feet, most likely we won't see much in the way of accumulation. And then Caltrans will probably be able to really keep a good handle on it. What you'll notice here too, if we look at Highway 299, we're looking at that limited impact near Buckhorn Summit. So keep in mind, Buckhorn Summit, especially tonight, tomorrow morning, may run into some snow on Buckhorn Summit. And looks like kind of the same situation on Friday. Again, it's scattered showers. We could see some heavier downbursts of some of that snow. So it will be limited to even minor impacts when we're talking about the travel impacts. Now the winds, they were the strongest today. I do expect to still be a bit gusty, especially along the coast here for your Thursday. 15, 20, even 25 miles per hour are not out of the question here for parts of the valley and the eastern mountains. But by Thursday evening, the winds die down, and in going into your Friday, I'm expecting weaker winds, maybe some gusty winds for Shasta Valley and central Siskiyou County, but overall the winds should be calmer for most of us by the time we do get into your Friday. All right, so there's the storm system impacting us today and tomorrow. The colder air is right here. That's the cold and unstable air that'll be moving in tonight and tomorrow, giving us the chance for thunderstorms. I've got my eyes on this storm system right here. It is actually going to rotate around this area of low pressure right here, and it's going to swing down into Northern California and develop into its own area of low pressure. This is what's going to bring us showers and, as I mentioned, maybe some thunderstorms. What you saw as that area of low pressure shifts to the south, we see it kind of rotate around that area of low pressure with that energy kind of coming on up. And of course, that moisture along with those showers. As that shifts to the south on Saturday, we still see some of that wraparound moisture bringing us more showers, and not to mention snow in the higher elevations on Saturday. Now, what's interesting is this. This low pressure shifts to the south, but we see another area of low pressure break off from that and develop. So what happens is you get that wraparound moisture. It could bring maybe a little bit of snow out towards Plumas and even parts of Lassen County as well. But you'll notice elsewhere, it's actually fairly dry. However, if you still look at the European forecast model, because this is the American, the European forecast model still has a few pop-ups trying to pop up on Sunday. So here's the bottom line, and this is something I mentioned in the morning, is that I think we're going to be looking at dry conditions for most of us Sunday morning. So Easter egg hunts, those sunrise services, those sunrise church services, I think you should be dry. That's what it's looking like for now. There may be enough instability in the afternoon on Sunday for a few pop-up showers here and there, but no thunderstorms. And as I mentioned, maybe some of that snow down to the south and east of the valley into Lassen and Plumas counties. Then it's all gone. We've got high pressure building in by next Monday and Tuesday. It's warmer and not to mention drier as well. So looking at the precipitation outlook, honestly, I think it might be underdoing it a bit here for parts of the valley, especially some of that heavier rainfall moving in. I think, along the coast, over an inch is a very good possibility, and not to mention even for parts of the valley as well. All right, so for tonight, we're going to be looking at those temperatures dropping down in the low to mid 40s for most of us in the valley. Now, it is going to get cold, which means snow for many of the higher elevations when that precipitation moves through, again, down to about 3,000 feet here later on tonight. So, yes, I think Fall River Mills, Bernie, you could be looking at some snowflakes by tomorrow morning, not to mention Chester, Lassen Park, of course, right? Alturas and maybe Aden as well. Meanwhile, we take a look at Mount Shasta. Yes, you could be looking at some of that snow. This is when we could run into some problems here when we're talking about travel here for tonight and into tomorrow. All right, so let's take a look at those wave heights, and they are going to be increasing. Now, most likely, there will be a gale warning of sorts or some kind of small craft advisory as we go into Thursday, but for now, I've just got the chance for showers and thunderstorms in there. Then we go into your Friday. It looks like those wave heights will begin to drop. So your marine forecast has those winds from the southwest at 15 to 25 knots and your waves from the west at 15 feet at about 14 seconds. So here's your Trinity County neighborhood forecast. Upper 40s, maybe some low 50s for some of the warmer spots, but it is going to be another cool day. In fact, cooler for Thursday than it was today. Look for high of 52 for Eureka, 49 in Shelter Cove, and 52 degrees in Blue Lake. We take you up north, 52 degrees for Crescent City, as well as McKinleyville and Smith River, 52 degrees out in Willow Creek, and looks like Orleans that is, high of about 49. 51 degrees out in Ashland, our neighbors out to our north, 49 degrees in Happy Camp, and 41 degrees in Tennant. Taking a look at your Modoc County neighborhood forecast with 45 in Tule Lake, 45 in Eagleville, as well as Alturas and Calpines, and there's a look at Cedarville with a high of about 42. And your Eastern Mountains neighborhood forecast looks like low to mid 40s, although some of the warmer spots like the foothills in Paradise at about 51, 48 degrees for Shingletown. And it looks like Janesville, a high of about 45. How about your Valley neighborhood forecast to the south? Those temperatures will be in the upper 50s to low 60s, more like the upper 50s off towards the west side of the valley. Otherwise, for, say, Corning southward, we're talking temperatures in the low 60s. But I do expect it to be cooler heading northward. There you can see about 58 degrees for Redding as well as Anderson, 60 in Red Bluff, and 52 degrees in Whiskeytown. So we take a look at your 7-day outlook for Redding. There are the showers, there are the thunderstorms. There could be some breaks in the clouds, by the way, especially for the first half of the day on Thursday. Then showers off and on for Friday and Saturday. Not entirely out of the question for a thunderstorm on Friday as well, but the chances are diminishing at that point. And then there you can see on Sunday, I've kept that chance in there, but I really would not count on rain on Sunday at this point. It's really looking more and more promising that it'll be dry for your Easter Sunday, dry and warmer for your Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday.